Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2017 Iowa Renewable Fuels Summit. This summit has become the go-to place for Midwesterners involved in agriculture and renewable fuels for many years, where people can network with their peers and learn from some very experienced speakers where our industry is potentially heading, and seek to understand where we've came from. My name is Eamonn Byrne. I am the president of Iowa Renewable Fuels Association. I've been associated with this group for probably the last 8-9 years. You've probably figured out at this stage that I'm Irish. I want to assure everybody that all my paperwork is in order. And on top of that, President Trump does own a large hotel in Ireland, so I'm told I'm safe enough. I want to acknowledge a number of attendees here this morning. Senator Grassley's office, Senator Ernst's office, and Congressman David Young's office are in attendance. We have leverage in the Senate, and we have two stalwarts in the Senate who have our backs each and every day. They're ably assisted by, in Congressman Senator Grassley's office, Kurt Kovarik, who's an Iowan, long history in renewable fuels and agriculture. And it's important, I think, that when we meet these people that we say thank you. They have our backs on a daily basis. In Senator Ernst's office, we've Devin Mogler from Northwest Iowa, from a family steeped in agricultural tradition. They have eyes and ears on the ground that communicate back to them what's going on in Washington. And then Congressman David Young as well, new enough to the scene, but doing a remarkable job for us in DC. And always remember that if it's a 515 number, a 712 number, a 563 number that goes into those offices, they will answer it because they need to hear from you guys. In addition to our senators and congressmen, I would also like to acknowledge a number of other partners in the state, in particular Iowa Department of Agriculture, Secretary Bill Nordy. Bill, I think you're out here somewhere. Big shout out to you. He's been a huge partner for our industry and for agriculture in general. He's a farmer and he knows the issues. I'd like to acknowledge the Iowa Department of Transportation, the Iowa Economic Development Authority, the Iowa Workforce Development, and Nebraska Energy Office. While I'm proud of the work that Iowa Renewable Fuels Association do, we also do it in association with a lot of other groups, both statewide and nationally. And again, in alphabetical order, those being ACE, Brian Jennings, Growth Energy, Emily Score is also here today, Illinois Corn is here, thank you Rod, Iowa Biodiesel, Tom Brooks, Iowa Corn Growers, Craig Floss, the Iowa Farm Bureau, Iowa Soybean Association, the National Biodiesel Board, National Corn Growers, Renewable Fuels Association, Bob Deneen, who is our keynote speaker, Renewable Fuels of Nebraska, Mark is here, a new association set up to represent the plants in Nebraska, and the Urban Air Initiative. Thank you to all for your help in getting our policies out and center where they need to be. It would be remiss of me not to acknowledge my colleagues in the Iowa Renewable Fuels Association, board members, producer members, investors, associate members. Without all you guys, this industry would not be possible, and today would not take place. So please stand, all members of plants, and all our Iowa Renewable Fuel Association members, and please give them a big round of applause. This is a free event. It just doesn't happen. And we have decided to acknowledge and go down the road of sponsorship to put this event on. I would like to acknowledge, and I would ask each of you, as you meet these individuals or companies over the next few hours, to thank them for their support. Our gold sponsors include Growth Energy, Solenis, Enogen Syngenta, Lallemand, Iowa Corn, and Eco Engineers. Thank you very much for your support. Our silver sponsors include American Coalition for Ethanol, or ACE, Beta Tech, Biodiesel Magazine, CTE Global, ERI Solutions, Ethanol Producer Magazine, Growmark Energy, HydroClean, ICM, Interstate Companies, FC Stone, Monsanto, and US Water Services. Again, please join me in thanking them for the contributions they've made. Our media partners for today are Biofuels Journal, Ethanol Producer Magazine, and the Biodiesel Magazine. Thank you guys for your support as well. I did mention the Irish thing and a quib I've had with European policy and versus the US policy when it comes to agriculture and renewable fuels. Europe in 1988 put a policy in place where basically they wanted farmers to become managers of the countryside and receive a check in the mail once or twice a year. In my view, that policy backfired in that it stopped land transferring to younger people, and it certainly stifled innovation and has put Europe probably a generation, if not 2 generations, behind the US when it comes to agriculture and technology. Our company, Plymouth Energy, was involved in an anti-dumping case in Europe, and Jim and myself sat down with them to try and understand why they would go down this road. And their simple answer was this: we cannot compete. So the answer is to slap a tariff on any imports that may come in, a protectionist society. What renewable fuels has done for rural America, we will never fully understand. It has brought life back to the countryside. It has invigorated young people to get back involved in agriculture. It has been a huge policy success on a number of fronts, and that needs to be acknowledged. Point in fact, we have a young guy, our environmental health and safety manager, Brian Diediger. He's out there today, 30 years of age, by the way, ladies, he's single. He would be in Houston or Dallas or Chicago or Minneapolis if it wasn't for the renewable fuels standard and renewable fuels in America. It has kept young people in the country, in the countryside, as opposed to letting them migrate to the cities where they'll have to move to get jobs. It has been a success. There's many challenges in front of us, and we have a new administration in place and a new president in place. And there's been a lot of furor in the television over the last couple of weeks at the speed at which he's making decisions, signing executive orders, so on and so forth. But I will say that maybe we need to step back just for a second. There is nothing that has been done in the last couple of weeks that he has never spoke about while on the campaign trail. So it shouldn't necessarily be a huge surprise. How he has done it, maybe not all of us would agree with it, but he has done it. So let's step back to this time last year. This guy has done everything he said he's going to do. He stood here on this podium and said he supported the renewable fuel standard, and he said he supported agriculture. So our job over the next year, and this is going to be a tough year, is to make sure that we hold him accountable to what he actually said. I believe we can work with this president to get to where we need to get to. There will be challenges, but where there's challenge, there's opportunity, so long as we are ready for the challenge. I spoke to a colleague of mine yesterday evening, and he said, this is going to be a tough year. We're going to have to get out there and get to work, roll up our sleeves. Nothing is a given. And if we truly believe in this industry and the work that all of us, each and every one of us, has put into it for the last 10, 12 years, we need to continue to do that work. We need to continue to roll up our sleeves and get to work and hold these people accountable and be proud of what we've actually done as an industry, because I think we can do it. And if there's one thing President Trump acknowledges, it's hard work and success, and this industry has been a success.